You often talk about separating hype from reality in the context of AI. Where do you currently see real value of AI in education? And where is it just marketing?
Yeah, look, with all great technology, you will always have this hype cycle, right? I think like right now we are on the downtrend of the hype cycle at this moment when it comes to AI. There was a lot of, oh, general intelligence is around the corner, just 2 years away. It's going to be some time away, right? It's not going to be like 2 years, probably like decades away. We have reached a stage where most of the improvement on the AIs is not happening on the content and not happening on the responses. If you look at the evolution of ChatGPT 4 to 5, right? Or if you look at any great AI development that has happened in the last few months, most of this has been in the form of content type. So image, videos, all of that are becoming better. But what we are also noticing is that a lot of AIs are solving for experiences. So they are picking up few categories and going deeper into that. So I would say, like, when it comes to hype of AIs in education, yes, couple of years ago there was a lot of hype. This is going to revolutionize education. It is going to solve for a lot of problems. Yes, a lot of those problems can be solved using AI, especially when it comes to access to AIs. Sorry, access to learning and education, right? That is going to be the biggest impact that it is going to create. Is that already happened? I would say to some extent, what has happened is the change in user behavior. So one thing that I observe is that my son and that age group, they do not Google anymore. They do not go to Google. Right? Google was something that was anytime we want to search something, it was very natural to us. We still use Google. They don't. They go to ChatGPT. They go to Gemini. They go to other AI tools. Right? That is their first destination that they go for any problem that they have. And I feel like that is a big user behavior shift that is happening, and eventually it could also lead to solving for much more deeper challenges, right?
Mm-hmm.
But education in general, the thing is that education, if you want to impact education, it needs to be done at systemic level,
Mm-hmm.
right? So what I mean by that is that it needs to be done at the government level, it needs to be done at the policy level, it needs to be done at the school education system level, right? And all of these changes are not going to happen in a matter of years. They take decades to change anything, right? That is there. But what I say, and what the biggest impact that I feel, is that AI can play a very, very big role in making a good teacher a great teacher.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And again, to go a little bit deeper into that,
Mm-hmm.
we've all had experiences in schools where we had amazing teachers and we love that subject and we love that experience, but we also had our own share of teachers who were not interested, or who were just going through that motions.
Yeah.
But keep in mind, like, nobody becomes a teacher because they want that money, or nobody becomes a teacher because they just want to do that, right? They become a teacher because they really believe in education. What happens is that there is just so much bureaucracy, there is so much paperwork, there is so much other things that happens in their lives that they are not able to spend that time and effort in teaching. But
Mm-hmm.
with AI, they can really leverage that AI to bridge that gap, to solve for the problems that each individual student has, right? And tailor that teaching, tailor that method, tailor that methodology based on what individual student needs. And that is where I feel like a biggest impact is going to happen, where teachers adopt AI to really become great teachers. And I see that happening in some teachers. I see that happening in some schools. Some schools and teachers are very AI positive, and they're using it to a lot of things, like setting the content, setting the tests, all of those kind of things. But even using it for repetitive tasks like grading, for example, like it's a great area where AI can really solve for that problem, right? So, or for homework also, for instance, like creating homework plans, like creating the study plan, like all of these things is something that they can leverage AI, but provided, like I mentioned, the challenges that we had at Brainly to make it ensure that it is accurate, it is tailored, it is trustworthy, all of these things, if you solve for that, that's the area where AI can play a tremendous role from an impact perspective.